is about 60 degrees today. Today is November 19th. And looking at the weather and for the next week, doesn't look like it's going to be too great. So today is looking like it's going to be the last ride of the season. Yeah, it's pretty sad, but it's it's a reality for those of us in the colder climate. So I just thought I'd come out here, take a little cruise. I'm not gonna stay out too long, and I figured this video will be the video of my opinion now that I've owned my bike and ridden it for a complete season. My opinion of this 2023 FatBoy. Just to recap, I bought this bike in September, the middle of September 22, and I was able to get it out and ride it for a little bit before the cold weather kicked in. Wasn't too long, but this past spring and summer I was finally able to be on it consistently, and I tried to do so as often as possible. You know, in the summertime I really don't like to ride when it's too hot, for obvious reasons. And this summer, I think we had a really warm summer. And also I'm not really a nighttime rider, just because people drive crazy these days, man. I don't know if it's just me. I don't know if it's the fact that I'm just older now, and value my life a little bit more than I did when I was younger. But I don't know, I just feel like people drive like maniacs, man. And there's a lot of times where I did want to get out and take a drive, downtown, be a part of that atmosphere out there, because I really do love downtown. When I lived closer in the city in Chicago, to ride downtown was no more than about maybe 15 minutes away. Now it's a little bit further, and the fastest way for me to get there would I would have to take the highway, which is no big deal. I mean, it's not like this motorcycle can't handle it or do it or anything like that. It can. It's just, again, the people that drive out here these days, to me, they're just a little more wild. But anyways, I know eventually I'm gonna do it, because I just love the city. I do love being down there. I do love the atmosphere, like I said. You see all kinds of different people from around the world walking around down there. We did go down there a couple times, Nancy and I went to the river walk. But anyways, back to the point of this video. What do I think about my 23 FatBoy? Well, right off the bat, and this is not me being biased or anything, because this is my bike, but right off the bat I can tell you that I really enjoyed riding this bike. The first things that I was worried about is the fact that I wouldn't get used to the lean angle, which isn't great. When I first purchased the bike, that was one of the things that I was a little concerned with. But like anything else, it really just is a matter of getting used to it, and that's it. And realizing that you can't take turns, going too fast, because the faster you make a turn, sometimes the more you got to lean over to make that turn. And Unfortunately, on the FatBoy, I mean, that's not something you can do. So you really got to slow down and take a turn. So that would be the number one, not a complaint, but that would be the one thing that I would say, that if you were looking for a bike with a lean radius, a big lean radius, this one wouldn't be for you. Seat wise, this one is, it's okay. I could stand to use a seat with more cushion, along with the pillion seat. That one definitely, like, if I could just get a pillion seat for now that is really thick and more cushiony, I'd rather get that right now for my wife, because the seat, unfortunately, back there is nothing. And that's how usually these bikes come, unless you find a used bike that has a nice Mustang seat on it, 2-up seat on it. But for the most part, like when I bought this bike, it was a 23, so it didn't have anything really special on it other than the exhaust, the Chromeworks exhaust, and that was it, really. But as far as seat wise, this one is good for about an hour. After about an hour, like, I'm ready to hop off and let the blood recirculate back to my butt cheeks. And so yeah, that's another thing that I have to be honest about, the seat comfort. Now, if you've watched any of my other videos, I do have. Now, when I'm talking about seat comfort, I'm talking about the seat that came stock, with the stock fender on it and stuff like that. Now, I have bought an aftermarket rear fender that only accommodates one single seat. That one is probably just as comfortable as this one. It's no thicker, or it's not, far more comfortable than the stock one. As a matter of fact, I think the stock one is a little bit softer than that one. That one, to be honest, is really not, I guess I could say, it's really not designed, I guess, for comfort. It's just more designed for looks, and it does look awesome. I do like it. I really like it. It gives this bike a different stance. It gives it a more lower and a lower stance, and it does sit you back further, a little bit further, and it actually makes my controls feel a little bit more forward, which I really love. With this seat, with the stock fender and the stock seat on there, I feel like I'm sitting more upright, and my legs are in a more 90-degree position. Now, I didn't really notice that too much until, like, for the majority of the summer, I rode with the single seat on, and then my wife and I did the Dia de los Muertos ride, and I put the stock one on with the seats, and as soon as I sat on it, I felt like I was sitting, number one, so much higher. I felt like I was sitting about an inch closer to the gas tank, and my legs were, like I said, now at a 90-degree angle, and I just felt like I was sitting so much higher. And I'm not complaining about that. I'm just really describing the difference in height and distance that I get with the single seat versus the stock one. So if you have a FatBoy and you're wondering about any of that stuff, I mean, get the fenders. I'm not trying to say that the single seat is bad. It's not. I love it. I love the look of it, and I like I said, I like the feel of it when I'm sitting on it, because it does sit me back a little bit further, and I really do like that. I enjoy that. What else? Gas mileage, this bike has a lot of torque, and if you're going to be cruising at a constant 40-50 miles an hour, you are going to eat a little bit of gas. You are. You know, I noticed that I'll fill it, and I'll go on my ride or whatnot, and then I'll look down and I'll be like, damn, I'm at half tank already. And so I don't know, I don't want to say it's a gas guzzler. It's just that this bike has a lot of torque to it. Doesn't have a lot of horsepower, it just has a lot of torque. I think it's got about 94, 95 horsepower, which is, you know, which is perfect for me. And yeah, so the gas mileage, I was a little surprised about that. But again, it's not a big deal. I do happen to use premium fuel in my bike. I could probably use 87, but I choose to just use the premium fuel, and I stick with that. I don't mind paying a little bit more. Does it make a difference? I have no idea. I'm not, you know, an engineer or anything like that, so I can't tell you if it makes a difference or not. And honestly, it probably doesn't. And you know, it doesn't say that I have to use premium fuel on here or anything like that. So it's just something that I've stuck with from day one, and I'll just continue to do so. So the gas mileage is not bad. It's okay. I think what I'll have to do is take a longer ride somewhere just to test that out, just to see really how far I can get without having to stop for gas for a refill. So for now, my opinion on the gas is it's not bad, and I hope it's not too windy. I switched over my camera stuff to my Harley helmet, and this is kind of the first time, maybe second time that I've been out with it, or not even. You know what? This is the first time. What am I talking about? It's the first time that I've been out with it, so I'm kind of interested and curious to see what the sound is going to be like when I get home and edit this video. I can hear it's windy. This helmet is windy in general. It's not like a genuine full-faced helmet. This one is known to be windy. When I was shopping around for new helmets, you know, that was the review on this one. It is windy. So if you I'll leave a description of what kind of helmet it is. It's the smaller one. They say it's similar to, I want to say, the Scorpion helmet out there. It's the same design. Usually when I wear it, before I transferred all my stuff over to this one, I usually wear earbuds that I could connect my Bluetooth, that I could connect via Bluetooth and listen to my music and stuff like that. So it doesn't sound as windy to me because I do always ride with those. But now that I switched over my little speaker system and then all of that stuff, I don't wear those anymore because I have the little speakers on both sides of my helmet. And honestly, I think I like that better because it does sound better. I get a better sound out of that. But it is still similarly windy. You know, I was kind of hoping that would help as far as like deaden the wind a little bit. But I mean, it feels the same. And it's just really the helmet. It's not designed to block a lot of wind. I stole the chin skirt from my other helmet and I put it onto this one. I just use a couple of little Velcro strips and it works fine. So I was hoping to that would kind of help out and keep the wind from going underneath my chin, because this one does have a removable face and it is a 3-in-1 helmet. You know, I could remove the face and have it open like that, and then there's another section that I could remove and just make it like a half helmet. So it goes from full face to 3/4 to half. But anyway, back to the bike. I love the fact that these ones came with cruise control, and it just makes everything so much better when you want to relax your right hand. You want to get it off the throttle, set that cruise control, man, and you're good to go. So that's a plus about this bike. I don't know if this was the first model. The 23 was the first model to come with that as a standard equipment, but I love that part. I would hate to really go back to a motorcycle that didn't have that. So I really love that about this bike. The handlebars, the stock handlebars, are great. They put you in just the right position, you know, to be in. If you want to go for a comfortable ride. I wouldn't move these from where they're at, the position that they're in right now. They're in a perfect position. I don't feel like I'm, you know, hunched over at all. So I really do like the stock handlebars on here. Now, with that being said, I am planning on replacing these handlebars for next year. I already know which ones I want. I'll put up a little pic of them real quick right here. And I love, I'm not looking for a high rise. You know, I see guys that have high rise handlebars, 8 handlebars, and I mean, it looks good, don't get me wrong. It looks really good, but for me, I want something that's gonna make the steering a little bit better while not making it more difficult. I feel like the higher the rise, the more difficult it will become to turn your bike and to do all the slow speed maneuvers that I'm always talking about and stuff like that. That's my main concern, is I don't want to lose that ability to do all of that stuff, just in case, you know, in an emergency, if I ever needed it, you know, I didn't want to put myself in a situation where it's like, oh damn, you know, I couldn't do this turn or maneuver or whatever because of the ape handlebars and stuff like that. I didn't want to do that. But those ones are, I believe, a 6-inch rise, and really that's as high as I want to go. Another thing that I don't want to do is have to extend any of my my lines or anything like that. I contacted the seller about that, if I had to extend any of my lines, and he said nope. All the existing lines are perfect for the handlebars. You don't have to change out anything. And once I read that email, that helped me make my decision. So next year, I'm looking forward to adding that onto this bike, because it does really give it a completely different look. And I like the way it goes along with the fenders that I have. And I'm thinking I'm going to put them on because, as far as I can see, I believe they only come in chrome. I mean in black. I wish they came in chrome, because if they did, if I chose to like plasti dip them to a matte black or even a shiny black, I could do that with the plasti dip. because they're black, I don't know if I want to mess with, the plasti dip. As far as, I mean, obviously there's no plasti dip that could change it to chrome. At least I don't think there is. So what that in the end may end up forcing me to do is just to change the whole color scheme with the forks and the headlight and all of that stuff. I might have to just plasti dip that all in black and just go that route. So I've seen some bikes like that. Again, they don't look bad. I like the way they look. So I'm not really like too worried about what it's gonna look like if I do go down that route. So, but we'll see. I'm gonna mount them as is and see how it looks. If it looks fine with the chrome and the black, I'm just gonna leave it. I probably will change the levers on here. I'll probably change them black. I'm gonna see if I could change my grips as well, get some new grips to throw on there while I have everything off, and yeah. Also, I plan on adding passenger floorboards to get rid of the pegs back there. I just want my wife to be a little more comfortable when she does come with me. Maybe it'll make it easier for her to get off and on the bike as well. She doesn't really like to get off and on with the pegs. So, but comfort, that's what I'm looking for the both of us. So those are going to be that's going to be a couple of the things that I have planned for next summer. Now, will I put on the handlebars myself? I may, I may take a dive in that and see. See if I could do it on my own. YouTube University. It doesn't look too hard. Like I said, the good thing is I don't have to do anything to the lines. I just use the existing ones and just transfer it over. So continuing on, how do I feel about the fat tires? I love them. I love them. Again, I always wanted my bike to have these fat tires, and I wouldn't change them. At least the rear one. The front one, honestly, now that I'm talking about tires, to be honest, I am looking at possibly changing the rims out, of getting some new rims. Right now they're both 18-inch, the front and the back. So I'm thinking maybe I might go 20-inch in the front and maybe 19 in the back. I don't know. I have not done a lot of shopping around and stuff like that on rims. But that is an idea that I got as well, that if I could change out my rims, I'll do that, which means I would have to get different size tires. I do like the 240 millimeter in the back, so I don't really want to change the back too much. It's the front one that I'm willing to change out and to go a little bit thinner with. So that's another thing I have plans for. However, once again, you know, I'm not drowning in money. And these things, these changes, you know, they're not cheap. If you add everything else up that I said I wanted to do, I mean, it could take you easily over $3,000. And if I can afford it, I'll do it. Or, you know, I'll just continue to take my time. Continue to take my time. Do one thing at a time. I know for sure I'm gonna do the handlebars. I'm not even that's not even a question of whether or not I'm gonna do those. Those will be done for sure. And then from there, everything else will follow. But overall, am I happy with my decision to get a FatBoy? I'd have to say that I am very happy with my decision that I decided to invest in this FatBoy. I really am. Now, what would be awesome is if I could add another bike to my collection, maybe a smaller one, one that's more, you know, flickable, and I can go do a little more, a little bit faster on my turn and my curves and all of that stuff. That would be fantastic. If I could do that, I would add to my collection. But as far as right now, like this FatBoy, I love it, man, and I don't regret it. And it's gonna stay with me for a while, until I get tired of it, which will probably be in a few years. But until then, you know, I'm not in no rush. This thing is here with me, and it's here to stay, and that's fine with me. So if I left anything out, let me know down below in the comment section. If you have any questions that you want me to answer, I'll try my best to do it. If you're curious about something on this bike, oh yeah, one last thing before I do. How do I feel about the Chromeworks pipes? Now, as far as I can tell, they're just slip-ons. I don't think they go, they're the complete exhaust system. I just think they're slip-ons. I like them. They sound way better than stock. Listen to that. That was one of the things that grabbed me when I first rode this thing. I do like them, but my exhaust, I will look to replace them with other slip-ons. They're loud. These guys are loud, but they're not like real loud. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like they could be louder. And I know Vans and Hines has some good slip-ons. If I can get some Vans and Hines to put on here, I will. But I'm also shopping around, looking at other slip-ons as well. It's not the place I went to last time, so we're gonna stay out of there. There's a little frontage road that I had found one time, a long time ago. I'm trying to remember where it was at. That's not it. I thought that was it right there, but it's not. But anyway, that's gonna do it for the review of my motorcycle. If you all are someone's out there that's watching this and you are interested in getting a FatBoy, I would say do it. Like me, you know, unless you're looking to travel like a lot of miles, or you know, for hours at a time, I probably would not recommend this motorcycle. But if you're just looking to go and do some short cruises like I do, you know, I when I'm out, I'm not out no longer than maybe an hour or so, maybe a little bit more. I mean, man, you won't regret riding it. It'll give you a ton of fun. You'll have a ton of fun on it. So yeah, if I was planning to go further, I would want some bags on the side. I know you could put some bags on here and mount some bags on here, but I don't know, man. For me, like, unless they're like the ones that mount onto the frame, I wouldn't want to put too big of bags on here, because I would think that it would take away from the look of this FatBoy. And this FatBoy has a iconic look to it and feel to it. So, but other than that, go get yourself a FatBoy. And if you live in Chicago and you're looking for someone to ride with once in a while, hit me up in the comment section. I'd be more than happy to meet up with you. We can go have some fun. I hope it's not too windy. I hope you can hear me. And if you can, I really appreciate you all. Thank you for watching my videos this past summer. I may upload a couple more during the winter. I have a couple of things that I'd like to do during the winter. Take my grandkids or my wife, have a good time. So stay tuned for that. Once again, thank you very much. And you guys be safe out there. And we will see you definitely on the next one. Peace out.